Got it.
Scott's just bobbling and wobbling away.
Welcome, everybody. I'm your intern host because Devin couldn't make it today. Today we have your conspiracy show.
Ooh.
Is Trump running a shadow government? Is he actually the leader and battled in a coup as Duffler beats up his moon and battled in a coup with the actual corporation of America, which was started many decades ago to repay Britain for the Civil War. And so we're going to dive into that, and we're going to let you know what we think each.
By the way, at the bottom, that's Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Yeah.
What up, everybody?
Scott,
I was late.
Hello. Hey, you're here. Good job, Chris.
Y'all know who I am, Greg.
I just ran through the door. So
Our-
Tinfoil hat
Our
guy.
intrepid host tonight is Greg over there.
And
Yes.
let's get this party started. I'm sorry. So is Trump running a shadow government? Is he the actual 19th president? Because Trump actually signed an executive order ending the corporation of America and setting us back to the original America as we were founded by the Constitution. Scott, what do you think?
I've heard this theory from you. I've done a little bit of research. I'll admit I haven't like dived down deep into the whole of it. I don't know what to think about it. Honestly, I'm on the fence. I'll be honest. I'm on the fence. I mean, there's things that say yes, he is still running the show, and there's things that don't add up where I'm like, no, I don't think he's running things. So, I mean, what do you think, Devin? Do you think Trump is running the show still, or?
I'm going to push the screen around just a
Go
little
ahead,
bit.
flip whatever you do. I know it looks funky. I wasn't gonna mess with it. There you go.
There.
Now we're right.
What do I think? Well,
Yeah, what do you think? You think Trump's still running the show, or
I'm not thinking much right now. I just kind of ran in the house, but
we know you just ran in. We'll give you that. But
I did too. It was rough.
honestly, I think that I think there's a possibility that Donald Trump's still running things. I think that if it is, this is the most sloppy,
Outlandish.
civil war thing that's going on here in the country without any,
I like both your
without
answers on
any
that
fights.
one.
But it is really
Yeah.
interesting about what happened today, with the attorney general doing the thing, requesting information from the DOJ.
What DA was that? Missouri.
The attorney general of Missouri
Okay, I was just so
requested information. It's just really interesting that it
Go ahead,
happened
go ahead,
right
keep-
now at the end of Donald Trump, or at the very end of Donald Trump's court cases. Just really interesting.
Right. I don't know what that
Chris?
story is. I was going to try to bring something up so we could reference something
It's
on
all
that,
over
but
the news. It's all over.
right. Okay. What do I think about it? I
what do you
think
think?
there's a very big possibility that is what's happening, because if you look around, you look at Trump, he has a motorcade following him around.
Mhm.
That's usually not what you get when you have a what do you want? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, my son came in the room.
That's all right.
But
we all got families and jobs. Unfortunately,
usually-
other than this.
right, usually you don't have that. Usually you don't see
Or fortunately,
an ex-president or running around with a motorcade. This,
Right.
I mean, we've all seen it. Like when he went
And
to Georgia and he turned
helicopters
himself in, and I mean,
yeah.
and that's anywhere he goes, he's followed around by a huge motorcade,
Right.
and I've just never seen a vice president or sorry, an ex-president. Look, he's got my
Ex-president.
motorcycle on there now. An
I can chase
ex-president
that for him.
running around like that. You know what I mean? It's fine. Just leave it. And that's my thought on that. That's why it makes sense when we went down this conspiracy theory that there's a possibility that Trump is actually still the acting president, the 19th president, as Greg says. But
that's the thing that holds me up is like, you know, when he goes somewhere, he's got this huge,
right.
I want to say entourage, but it's not an entourage. It's
motorcade.
Yeah, motorcade, exactly. But then it's like, the thing that holds me up is like, if he's really calling the shots, why is he letting the people suffer? Right.
Okay.
Now? You know what I mean? That's
let
what
me
gets
break
me
in
there.
here with you. Okay. So to explain this to the audience out there, back after the Civil War, somewhere between, America was incorporated because we had huge debts to Britain to pay them back because the Constitution. The Constitution does not allow that debt to be paid back. All right. The way it's written, you can't take from the people and give to another country as they're doing today. So the corporation kind of was created to skirt the Constitution.
Where does it say? Where does it say that? Just for.
Well, I mean, it's representation of the people. Okay. Taxes aren't legal. There is no law that says you have to pay taxes.
Right.
Not in
there's no.
Not in the Constitution. Actually, the Constitution says
property taxes.
Property tax, but income tax or any of these things are not. They have been found by the courts many times to be unconstitutional.
Now, let me back you up a second, maybe to help our viewers also is I'm still confused a little bit why we had a debt to Britain. I mean, we kicked their ass, basically. They wanted to rule us. We kicked their ass and said, get out.
That's not the war he's talking about. He's talking about the Civil War amongst ourselves. They funded that for the North.
Funded who? Well, I mean, and I'm still confused. But why would they even fund that? Why would they just be like, screw you, America? You beat our asses and we're out, you know?
Why is America funding Ukraine?
Okay, touche. I'll give you that one. But
they are not, at least not yet, right? Anybody? They're not a part of NATO or anything yet, right? Ukraine, but we've been funding it. We've given them over $100 billion to fund their war,
right?
And that's just, you know, now they're indebted to us. Maybe that's the whole plan. I mean, I think it's a lot more than that, but
I mean,
that's for another show. But
go ahead. Dan.
Okay, so the United States of American flag is represented as a corporation by the gold tassel. The gold tassel hanging. So it was incorporated in 1871. All right, the District of Columbia, which is the municipal government for District of Columbia summary. It's a way to bypass the Constitution to repay our debts. All right. If you go back, there was a lot of things created around 1871.
I thought the District of Columbia was created because not one state could hold that power.
Well, right, but what is the District of Columbia?
I thought it was created to give them exemptions from the laws of the state.
There you go. It's kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe
it's a capital that's not really beholden to anybody. You know what I mean? You're right.
Right.
So they're not allowed to have representatives there. They're not allowed to have senators from the District of Columbia. All right. But the District of Columbia was technically kind of owned or said to be owned by London after the corporation. So it is the federal government's way to bypass the Constitution in order to pay its debt back to London. The Civil War was very expensive. Half of our trade and exports come from the South. We had huge cotton exports. We had huge Southern exports, you know what I mean, from the Southern states, which were just cut off from us.
Right.
So
nice cutting off.
I get that, but I can't believe we would have gone to Great Britain and said, "Hey, we need some funding. Help us out." I mean,
why wouldn't we? They're our strongest allies.
So
yeah, but I mean, we beat them pretty badly, and we kind of like kicked them in the ass at the end and say, "Don't come back." You know what I mean? Like, we kind of did a little insulting there.
Did you know that the first capital of the U.S. was New York City?
Yes.
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah,
I
But
did not.
maybe our
I
viewers.
So, I mean, once again, we have been lied to. All right.
That created Ellis Island, Evan.
Well, no, I mean that.
I mean,
yeah,
but okay. Back in the day, Ellis Island was the big. That's where we brought all the immigrants in. So, hence, New York was
No, I get
kind of the
that.
capital. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I can understand why Britain would want to have us indebted to them, because it was obvious we weren't going to just submit to them.
right.
That would definitely not happen. But I mean, look at what we've done for them. We saved
You're right.
them.
We've
We've saved them in World
protected
War
them
One. We've saved them in
since,
World War
and-
Two. We've saved them in every war afterwards.
Yes,
We're basically their bodyguard in Europe.
Yeah,
basically.
along with the rest of the
Well,
world.
I mean, if you want to be technical, though, they are kind of our people too. You know what I mean? Our original people.
They're our
You know,
home.
Yeah, they're our
original
home
to a certain
start,
degree, but people have lots of original homes and they don't hold.
You're right. I mean,
Guilty.
we have immigrants from every country on the planet.
before Washington D.C. All right, it was basically just the territory of Columbia. All right, is what it was. Now, in 1871, the elected mayor and council of Washington Washington D.C. was set up in the Constitution. There, it is clearly stated what it was. But in 1871, the elected mayor and council of Washington City and Georgetown and the county levy court are abolished by Congress and replaced by a governor and council appointed by the president. That no longer happens.
Right.
So now there's just I mean, they didn't even have the right to vote because they weren't supposed to have a say in what happened in America. How are the politicians going to vote for what they want in Washington, D.C.? You know what I mean? It's a workaround to the whole system. And President Trump abolished that. So President Biden would be the president of the United States Incorporated. All right.
Yeah.
President Trump, after abolishing the corporation, would have become the president of the United States of America, basically wiping out everybody since 1871 because that was incorporated, and go back to the 19th president of the United States. He also wrote in an executive order making him the wartime president. So is there a war going on between what the incorporated America and the actual republic, constitutional America, which would be Trump versus Biden in the deep state?
See, I get a little confused right there. I mean, not that Trump did that. I understand that he did that, but Joe Biden's trying to do the same thing, make himself the wartime president with the to pass through the Green New Deal and all that, the climate change crisis. I remember reading an article about that.
Right.
So that gets a little confusing because then we have two wartime presidents because Trump never released and there was never stopped that.
Now you're getting it. There's two.
No, I get it. I get it.
Well, I'm just saying that question. There's two governments operating right now.
Right, but that's what makes it a little confusing is if Trump never, because the only person that can take that power away from the president when he becomes a wartime president is him himself.
Yeah.
Right.
He never did that. And then now Biden's trying to make himself a wartime president. So you can't have two. Like
the other hang up I
two
have
different
is
governments.
right.
You-
Well, the other thing is that kills me is, I mean, I've looked it up, and Greg's right with what he says, but why were we never taught this? I mean, until Greg told me and I looked it up, I never knew anything about this. Why don't they teach us in school?
Why would they tell you the truth? You know what I'm saying?
Well, because I know. Let me play the naive person here for a second. It's the school's job to educate the people, the kids. I mean, that's literally their job.
But the government
the
took
whole
over.
group.
Go ahead, Evan.
Who decides the curriculum?
The government
The
does.
federal government.
Okay. All right.
Why would they?
we looked that up. When did the Board of Education and all that stuff start?
Mhm.
My father was way before that time. He never told me about this stuff. So
And of
obviously
course-
he didn't know.
They
So
didn't
why?
know.
I mean, why is it not being taught?
They don't tell you because they don't want you to know. Just
You're
like
right-
they
well,
don't
you're right
tell
about
you,
that.
they don't tell you that in all actuality, when it all boils down to it, and Greg hit on it just a little bit ago, they don't tell you that taxes are illegal by the Constitution. It should
Right.
never be. It should never be a thing.
Right.
But there are laws that
The laws say we have to pay
that there are
them.
tax laws. Now, here's the confusing part that it makes everything makes no sense, right?
Right.
Is any law that contradicts the Constitution of the United States of America is null and void.
Right.
So how
Written
many
in the
laws?
Constitution, right?
How many laws do we have on the books that conflict with the Constitution?
Damn near
There's
all of them.
there's a lot.
Damn
There
near all
are a
of
lot,
them.
not all of them, but there are a lot of them that
A lot. The majority,
do
the
that.
vast majority.
Isn't it
So-
also a right to
but-
not follow those laws if those laws are unconstitutional?
it is your right as long as you don't have a Gestapo enforcing those laws.
Oh,
When you have a
that's right. I'm
Gestapo
sorry.
enforcing those laws, like
Yeah.
your police department that
Right.
also
Which is
has
a
a
small
lot of
army. If you have a small army coming
Yeah.
after you, well, I mean, what are you going to
The
do?
IRS.
Right? You know,
the
the
it's-
IRS, right? Exactly.
That's
you
now
would
on.
think that none of that right there. I like that, Devin. That made no sense. Arming, what was it, 80,000? Was it
Right.
something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah, 80
something
some
like that.
thousand.
That
IRS
really
agents.
worried me because
Yes.
I mean they got IRS audits people all the time, and that's one thing for an official to come knocking on your door and say, "Hey, we need to go through your taxes and whatever." That's one thing, which I don't
But them
agree with,
coming
but
out-
it's one thing.
Go on
But
the
now,
ground,
yeah,
give
when
me
they come
some money.
knocking on your door, like, "Open up!" Oh, bro, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a
Didn't-
big
was
problem.
which was it Canada that made a law about the Civil War that if a civil war began that they IRS could just come in and just seize properties?
Okay. Now,
I don't know.
Now
I'm
look,
not sure.
was that- was
I
that
don't
a-
know.
no.
That might be,
Not
but
sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
It sounds like something they would do.
there, I am going to show a quick video. All right. Now, Scott,
Yes.
and I understand this is Alex Jones, and this is a very long video. It's an hour long. We're not going to play anywhere near that. But
really
I just
hope
want
not.
you to hear the first few moments of it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you who this man is. All right.
Your current wartime president, my commander in chief, Donald J. Trump, said it March 2023. People should learn to listen to President Trump. He never lied. He always pulled it through. And he said, I will totally obliterate the deep state. Those were his words. Now, he said that already after it was done. It's not visible yet. Elon Musk is gone. Look at the dude. It's not Elon Musk anymore, isn't it? Look at Macron. This is not Macron. Look at the official pictures of the Elysee. It's not Macron anymore. They're gone because the US military and over 30 military forces without their leaders are under the control and command of the United States. And the US Space Force is the coordinating.
So you're saying this is like Hugh stuff. You're saying there's been a
No,
coup against the
No.
globalists?
no. Excuse me. How many fighter jets did Klaus Schwab command, or some Elon Musk or some Bezos? How many warships? Come on.
None.
Forget it. No. They're finished. Our problem was the satanic globalists, the Vatican, Israel, the Zionists. It's been handled as
Well,
we
what do you
know.
make of Elon Musk? Because he's certainly turned against the globalists. He thinks they're done.
Now, okay. I'm going to stop showing that for just a second. All right.
Dude,
Now,
really?
David-
Are
or
you gonna-
Scott?
Are you going to start this argument again?
hold on. Scott says
I-
this man is.
I need a shot. For this.
He's a nut. He's a nut. He's a conspiracy. You know what I mean? Who is this guy? And that's a good question. Okay. Who
Is that a
this
triple
guy?
shot glass you got there, Scott?
Yeah.
It's a double shot.
So
Uh,
that
Heavy double shot, but yeah.
that
And
guy
He just said
is
that. like he was sipping
Pascal Najati. Okay, he's Swiss. Let's look at his career. In 1989, Najati began working as a public relations assistant for Klaus J. whatever that is, Struckener, and Klaus J. Struckener AG in Zollverein, Switzerland. Later that year, he was hired as an account executive for sales of open-end mutual funds by the Swiss banks by Orbix Finance AG. From 1993 to 2003, Najad served as a management board member of the Drescher Bank, London, and was in charge of capital markets business covering Central Europe, Central Asia, the Russian Federation, Africa, and the Middle East. After his father, Hassan Najadi, was assassinated in Kuala Lumpur in 2013, he claimed that the Malaysian government and president covered his father's murders. All right. This guy, not only he worked for the president of Swiss. This guy is not a nutwad. You know what I mean? His father founded the WEF. He's one of them. Now they erased him from that. Now, if you look it up, it's just Klaus Schwab. But he's an investment banker, a filmmaker, an author. He sued Swiss President Alain Berset for allegedly abusing his office and making false statements on Swiss television regarding COVID-19. He is not.
Right, if you're okay, obviously this is a direct jab at me. Devin,
That's not a. It's not a.
Devin and Chris, I apologize, but I'm going to take this one. Okay, look, the man has credentials. Yes, I'm not denying that. Not even a little bit. The man has done many things. I'm not denying that. But I know just from my piddly, tiny, little, itty bitty life that doesn't matter and is insignificant, I've had enough stress to break many.
You don't mind if I take that down, do you, Greg? Or are you done?
No. I'm just saying this is.
And look, here's what's happened. I'm not saying everything the dude is talking about is false. Not everything. But not everything's true either. I think he has had a little bit of a mental break. Okay.
Look, all right. Now look, I can understand.
I never watched the video. I don't know.
I can understand your skepticism, and I like the skepticism. All right. But as we were just discussing the other day, the entire world that you know is been a complete fabrication of everything. I mean, it's hard to even begin.
Look,
and this is not the only people saying it. I mean, there's
right now.
I'll give you the
fact that the more we uncover, the more I start to question everything. I'll give you that. I think there's a lot of things we've been lied about for a lot of years. But if this guy wanted to say Biden is not the real Biden, I could go with that. I mean, it's obvious. We've had at least 3 or 4 different Bidens if you look at the pictures, okay? But to say, really weird. Elon Musk is gone, he's dead, he's whatever, this is some new guy, I don't buy that. He looks the same. Yes, aged a little bit, but he looks the same. So some of the stuff he says I can get on board with. But some of the stuff, dude, he needs a break. Okay, he needs a vacation. That's what I'm saying here. All right.
What I'm saying is, we went to school. Every one of us. We all learned history. We learned world history, ancient history.
We learned the history they taught us. I'll give you that
right.
one too.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, it is. Did anybody ever get taught about the Tartarian Empire?
No.
Nobody ever heard of that, but it existed. It was a
I heard about it after high school, even before the internet. I did hear about it,
but
I've never heard about it.
You've never
wasn't
heard
mainstream.
About it. No one. You know what I mean? You learned about the Greeks, the Romans, but the Tartarian Empire, never heard about it.
Right.
But it was huge. It encompassed a lot of Europe and a lot of Asia, and this is the 1700s. Right. This isn't thousands of years ago. These people existed just a few hundred years ago.
I think there's Devin's the clone of Christopher Walken.
He might be.
You look at him down there.
Untrue.
Okay, I look down and I'm like,
yeah, you got a little resemblance there. But look, I mean, I agree. Like I said, the farther we go down these rabbit holes, the more I start questioning things, and the more I think, why would they tell us the wrong information about everything?
So
to control us. I get that, but
Alex Jones.
Not even just to control us. Everything is a war of information. War itself is about information.
You're right.
So
Yep.
if the people are not aware, then it makes it much more easy for a government to move.
right,
It does.
you're right. It does.
And that's one of the reasons they don't.
Ignorance. Yeah, I mean, unless you get away with a lot of stuff, you know.
That's one of the
Right.
that's one of the reasons they don't teach you in school the laws of your land. They don't teach you the tax code. None of that is to keep you
ignorant.
If I come up to you and I just sound like I know what I'm talking about, I can convince you of a lot of things. You know what I mean? And if I just say, hey, you broke this law and you don't know anything about it, then I could arrest you and you would think that I was legally arresting you. And they do that all the time.
Well, right. You're right. They do. I mean, I've been a victim of that when I was younger, didn't know any better. And I mean, the one thing my father told me that I didn't realize till later in life, he one day looked at me and he said, question everything. He literally told me that, question everything. And it didn't hit that, you know, I mean, it hit a little bit back then, but the older I get now, the more information I have now, especially with the internet. He's right. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, everything we've been taught and told is either a lie or only a little tiny piece of the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My dogs are going crazy. Can you guys hear
I
that?
hear your dog.
I think my wife's home. I mean, when you look at all of this and let's bring it back to the topic of the day, you know what I mean? With Trump, is Trump really running a shadow government that is somewhat of a, are we in a civil war? You know what I mean? Because that's what that means, right?
Right. Go ahead and play that while we talk, Greg.
I am. I'm turning off the volume. Just give me one second. Go ahead and talk.
But go ahead, Chris.
It's. I mean, to me, like that right there. That's what we was talking about when he was like. Yeah, that's him going to have his mugshot taken, and he
is that what that is? The mugshot?
Yeah, that was Atlanta when he. Okay. Yeah, I think right. Was it?
Yes, this is
Trump arrived at Atlanta jail.
Yeah,
that was it. Okay, and to me, I've just never seen an ex-president turning himself in with that kind of motorcade. You know what I mean? That's presidential.
They
don't. That's not right. That's not just. I mean, and that's. I was about to say that's not it.
No, that's
there was
not
ambulances, all types of stuff. Yeah,
it keeps going for a while. See, but that's the part that blows my mind. Look, I mean, I see stuff like that, and I'm like,
they're not even showing it all.
No, they're not. That's not anywhere near what it was.
This is what the current president gets. You know, I mean, a guy following him with the football. I mean, Secret Service, 100 Secret Service around him. You know, helicopters, all this.
There were pictures of Trump after he was out of office. You know what I mean? Finger quotes. Holding something that looked like the football, or the guy standing behind him looked like.
Right.
Something that really resembled the nuclear football.
That's where we're confused, because I've seen those too. I've seen those too, and it's like an ex-president can't have that. You know what I mean?
By the way, try to look for that video. It doesn't exist anymore. I've looked.
I've looked. We looked at it months ago. We seen it months ago. Sorry, like we can't bring anything to back that up. But I seen the pictures. You know what I mean? And
we did see it, right? But the problem that gets me is if he's really calling the shots, why is he letting the American people suffer? Everything I've heard Trump ever say, ever, from the start, is he loves the people. He loves people to strive and to do good. And you know what I mean? So for him to just sort of stand back and let the people suffer, that's where I get hung up.
He's not standing back. Imagine if he wasn't there at all, what these people would be doing. You know what I mean? If there was nobody in the way, look at everything they're still doing to him, trying everything they can to just, I don't even understand what they're even trying to do, because it's like, the more you mess with him, the more people have his back. You know, his popularity has grown every time they arrest him, every time they bring up new charges on him, his popularity just grows.
Right.
It reminds me of that joke from Tosh.0 when he was talking about people being at bar. He's talking about moving forward time changes. It was at the bar and then
Going outside and it's a pterodactyl.
Right, going outside it's a pterodactyl because you moved it up, and all of a sudden when you go outside, you're like, oh my god, you know, because the light shows you what it really is. If we don't, as Americans, see what everything truly is, there won't be change in this country. I understand that we're having a tough go, but it's really, in all honesty,
Secret Service
really
right there. That's
Yeah.
not your regular.
And
if you really look at it, we're not that bad off. I mean,
No,
we're
we're-
struggling, but we're not
Right,
that
right,
bad
right.
off.
No, I get that. I get
We're
that
not
too.
red
but
lines and dealing with, you
I-
know,
I understand that, but let's turn the coin over. I mean, there are a lot of big chain stores that are closing down. Hundreds
Good.
of stores. You know what I
If-
mean?
if
Good.
Trump just walked out and said, "This is all a sham. I'm your president," it would look like a hostile takeover.
You're
If
right, and you're
he-
right about
if
that
he-
too. I
if-
get that.
If he allows the wool to be pulled over or away from your
Right.
eyes and you be able to actually see what's going on. I mean, look around at all these people that are just coming out of the woodwork going after him.
Right.
He is bringing them out of the shadows.
Right.
For
And
you
that's,
to
and
see,
that's
not
what I
just
think
for
it is.
him to see. He knows who they are. He's pulling them out of the shadows so you and me can see them.
Right. And I think that's exactly what it is. I think it
Devin
is
was right.
what-
That's what Devin was going to. I'm pretty
what's
sure.
happening is a grand scheme to something bigger.
So you can see it because if
But
if
it's
I don't,
very
if,
it's very frustrating though for him
I can
to just
tell
not
you-
come out and be like, look, this is what's really happening. I'm a straightforward guy. It's like if you tell me the truth, whether I like it or not, I will at least respect you for telling me the
there's a
truth.
lot of people that won't. And Scott, I can tell you, I have $1 million all day, every day.
Right.
Yeah.
But until I
Yeah.
show it to you, you're not going to believe it. You know what I
You're
mean?
right.
I want to
Right.
show you this.
I get that.
Now you say the
Right.
government, all right, isn't this weird club? You know what I mean? That
No, I know it's a weird club.
that is strange, all right. And politicians visit here that these people are really just normal people here for you. Alex
Not
Jones broke the Bohemian Grove. You remember that? You see the
Yeah.
picture right there?
Yeah.
The owl. Now I'm going to show you something else here. All right. This is the
They-
Capitol. This is the Capitol building. All right. Congress and the layout of the land. You think that's a coincidence?
We can't see it. Yeah, it's loaded.
It's an
There we
owl.
go. Yeah,
It's an
okay.
owl.
who is that?
Yeah, no, I get that. Who?
It's an who. I didn't get that at first, but I get
Yeah.
it now, Devin.
I've seen all the
Uh,
symbolism of
Right.
Washington,
That's
DC and stuff.
symbolism is going to be their downfall. That is the layout of the Capitol building. That is
Yeah.
not coincidence.
Right.
No, it's
There's
not.
a whole
And during that
layout.
Bohemian Grove thing that Alex Jones broke out, didn't they do
Yeah.
a somewhat fake
Yeah.
sacrifice
Yeah.
on there or something? It was it.
Was it fake?
There's a
That's why I
weird-
said.
What
That's
have
why I
we
said
learned
fake.
recently?
The official
there's-
story says yes, it was fake.
So you might,
Don't
you
look at
might-
me like that.
you might think, and my whole point was that is you might think that guy's nuts and speaking conspiracy theories, but honestly, hold on, we have no idea about anything or at all. We never knew about
Not
it.
anymore.
We never knew
Okay,
about
I'll
it.
give you that one. I'll give you that one.
You
I'll
know what
give
I'm
you that
saying?
one. But
We just live our lives thinking,
right.
oh, my history
right.
professor told me this. My history professor told me that. The government tells me this. These powerful organizations that I think are researching and moving the human civilization forward.
look,
You know what I mean? This guy, his dad was a founding member of the WEF, got assassinated in another country, has worked at the top banks of the world, has worked under the president of Swiss, and is saying these things. And we've been conditioned our whole lives to think conspiracy theory, this guy's nuts, because that's what we've been told when people say this. That guy's nuts.
look.
Because
He
we're
might not
Americans.
be.
Okay,
We're
you're right.
Americans.
You're right.
We know
I mean,
everything. We know everything. Okay.
no, we don't.
I know for a
But-
fact. 100%.
No, yeah, no, you don't. Don't say that. Please don't say that, Devin.
I mean,
But look, I'll
He's
give you that
joking.
one, Devin, or I'll give you that one, Greg. Touche. But I got to question everything, and some of it seems a
do.
little far fetched.
Look, you're right. You do have to question everything,
Right.
and like Greg just said, just saying about the educational system. How many things did you learn as a kid, and then turn around and find out a lot of it was untrue? There's a lot of things. How many times did they tell you what was it in the 70s? There's a new ice age in 10 years and everybody's going to die.
Wow.
Right.
Then in the 80s or 90s, it was acid rain. And then the ozone layer.
So we're going to end the world.
But every one of them was 10 years. They continuously repeat this 10-year cycle thing, and it makes no sense. The ozone layer, when I was in school in the 90s, it's going to be gone and we're all going to die.
Stop using hairspray.
It's fear mongering, and they've been doing this forever. They find a new thing, and now this whole climate change thing is happening.
Right.
That's and that's what Biden's trying to use to become a wartime president.
This has happened
100%. But I mean,
50 years we've been told of climate change. 50 years. Not one prediction has ever come true. If I told you for 50 years you're going to wreck your car today, you're going to wreck your car today.
Eventually.
Who's the crazy one, me or you?
Well, eventually, when you do wreck your car, you're like, oh my gosh, they were right.
Yeah, well, right. I can say anything. If I say anything long enough, you're going to start to believe it. But
look, nothing has come true. Not a single thing.
You're right.
Not one of them.
Right.
No acid rain.
Right.
The ozone layer's still there.
You know what I mean? But
it's all still there.
I think with that said, the best thing we can do is say,
hey, look,
question everything, and we probably got to call it quits. Greg, why don't you take us out?
I want to say this too. I want to say something about
all right, go ahead.
All these people that sit there and talk about climate change and the ice caps are going to melt and we're all going to be underwater. All the southern states are going to be underwater. They all have mansions by the water.
Right.
If you knew,
If
you knew, then why would you buy that property knowing it was going to be underwater? Because it's all fake. I mean, in my opinion, you know what I mean?
And then,
go ahead, Devin.
Look, a while back, at least when I was younger, I thought a few things about this country. I thought, number one, when journalists heard something that seemed fantastical or was any information at all, they dug and they found out the truth.
Right.
No.
That was their job.
Yeah. Ever since, I still believe that all the way up until the Putin interview. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because Putin came out and he's a world leader. I understand that he's a dictatorial leader that likes to murder everybody or something like that. That's what our country says. Right. But he said some things. He levied some allegations at certain people in the government. And what did those same people that I thought would go out, journalists that would go out and find out the truth, what did they do? Nothing. They didn't ask the questions. They didn't try to find any information. And so that makes me believe that anything that they're not willing to even try to answer or try to ask about must therefore be true, because the government does not want you to even find out about it.
That's Plymouth Rock. All right.
It's not really for sale.
No, that's a picture that's for sale, but that's Plymouth Rock. That's that picture.
$500.
It's not, you know what I mean?
And it's supposed to be underwater by now, and it's not.
No,
you're right.
Look. Yeah. All right, look, this is a modern picture of Plymouth Rock. You know what I'm saying? All right, right there.
It's not underwater.
Right,
it's not up here.
Hold on, I'm putting it up here right now. Okay, just take it. Okay. Not too long ago during the fireworks display, there's Plymouth Rock. It's open up to the ocean because during high tide, water does come in. All right. Now that I've shown you that, all right. Now let me go ahead and let me show you this here real quick.
I've said, look, the water level up to Plymouth Rock hasn't changed since 18 whatever it 20. Is on Plymouth Rock. Yeah, 1820.
Yeah.
I think has not changed on there.
So,
and the scientists, if you can get them,
I don't know what it said. It looked like it said 1820, but that doesn't make sense.
1620. 1620.
Oh, 16. I was about to say,
look at that
at all.
Right. And that's dry rock. Them some old pictures right
But
there.
even the scientists have said though, if every ice cap on the planet was to melt, okay, we would only lose 6 feet of land on any continent. 6 feet. That's it. The most.
Is that what it says?
Really unfortunate.
Yes. It's like, okay, you know when you go to the beach and you got all the sand in it, becomes a grass. It would go up to the grass if all the ice caps melt, and that's it. That's as far as it would go. So it's about 6 feet of land you would lose.
Sad.
Right. That's a lot of land.
At that 6 feet, though, you know how deep it would be? It would be about like a foot deep. I mean, it wouldn't be very deep.
Yeah, we've all walked in the ocean where you walk out and you're like, I'm still only knee high, and I
I'm only
feel
knee
like
high,
I'm pretty
and
far out.
Here. Right, exactly.
It's
depending on where you are.
Everybody knows this by now. If you
You
don't,
would lose.
by the way,
that much of
congratulations. Now
land,
you're aware.
you know.
They're trying to get your money.
Well, we will say we're not scientists. So
No, we're not. Don't
research, research. But the more you research, the more you know.
How many thousands of years ago that castle was built right there on the seashore?
I
a
don't
long
know.
time. Well, it's been several hundred years. I don't know, thousands.
What is that? Mathone Castle. We can find that out real quick. That's Mathone Castle.
Right.
All right.
Look, I've shown you guys pictures of houses on a little tiny piece of land. I'm like, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm going to buy this little house, and it's literally almost like the water level almost comes up to the door. And they've been there for a long time, and the water level has never risen. You know what I mean? So,
right, and that's the problem. What I don't understand is how people can't see how all this has happened with like I said, it's going to be acid rain. The ozone layer is going to go away. Yeah. Ice caps are going to melt. We're all going to die. To me, again, I'm not a scientist. I don't know how a lot of that stuff works, but none of the other stuff came true. So is this just another fallacy to get you to believe in, and you give all your money up? Like we've talked about before in other videos, you can't do this unless you pay all this money. Then you can burn as much as you want. You buy carbon tax, and
look,
it's all good.
It makes sense, guys. Let's cut down trees to make money, and then we'll take that money and we'll throw it at the water.
Okay.
And
look,
clear up everything. That's throwing money
here's
at
the thing.
That's exactly how you fix it.
1201 to 1300 is the 13th century. That's when that was built. 1201 to 1300.
And it's not underwater.
Not underwater.
Right.
Still there.
So here it is. Look, I'm a self-proclaimed prophet. All right.
Oh, what?
And
wait, I can stop that. Like, wait, what?
Proclaimed prophet, and I say that all this stuff that they say about every natural catastrophe that's going to happen, we're going to be underwater. In the 80s, you promised me I was going to have beachfront property. I don't have that. Okay, I don't. Nowhere near.
Ohio would be prime real estate right now, but we're not.
Right.
I mean, it actually is prime real estate.
You are right. It's all BS. It's all BS. You have to have a catastrophe to get more money. It's all about money. Give me money, 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 money. That's all it is.
As long as there's some new catastrophe, I can tax you for it.
What is the best? What is the best means of controlling behavior?
Fear.
Fear and money. Right. You're right. I mean,
well, what money? What? How does money make you fear? Not having it.
Right. Right. Yes. Exactly. You got it.
Yeah. It's fear. And like I said, it's that thing where it makes no sense if they're really serious about it. Like they would give up all their private jets. Yeah. They would stop allowing these companies to buy carbon carbon credits. That doesn't make any sense. You can't do it unless you pay, and it's pay to play, and it always has been with them. Trump said that too. 2016. Go back and look at it.
The government's like, if you give us just a little more money, we can make all your problems go away. It doesn't work that way.
Money's not going to make the world stop doing what it's going to do. Mother Earth is going to do what she wants to do, no matter what you do. It's just the way it is.
Going to as well.
Right.
And on
These are
that
facts.
note,
On that note, Mr. Bogan,
real quick,
please.
let's take a guess. Is this a shadow government? Is Trump running a shadow government?
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Scott? Oh, me? Oh, me. Yes. Yeah, I would say yes. Yeah, I would say it just makes sense.
All in all, I gotta say yes. But I'm a little disappointed in it. I'll give it that. But Devin, what do you think?
I say no because it's not the shadow government; it's the real government. Biden is the shadow government, and that's my answer.
Well, but that both
I
of,
would win that $1 million.
both of those would be shadow governments. If two
Right.
governments are operating, they're both. Well, actually, no. Trump would be the shadow government because Biden's operating in the limelight. He's
Right.
operating in the capacity of the government.
But
Right.
he is claiming to be something he isn't, which
It
is the
doesn't
actual
matter.
president of the United States.
It doesn't. Well, he's
government of the United States.
he's
So
the
the shadow government.
but Trump's running it from behind the scenes. He's not sitting in the Oval Office. He's not
That's-
directing Congress and the Senate.
I think
So-
that's another show.
You don't have shadow without light. Okay, so it's obviously the
Oh,
shadow.
yeah,
That's-
you're
That's
killing
why
me,
we're
bro.
that's why we're shedding the light on
Stop
it
it.
in the show.
You stop it. Wait, nope.
I wanted to have
Stop
so
it,
much
bro.
more. I have so much more to show. That would have been awesome. I mean, actual
Okay.
people who
We can do
work
a
for
part
the
two.
We got to
government,
keep them
but-
coming
Yeah,
back.
we-
Look,
we-
our one viewer needs a
That's
reason to
Amber.
come back. Okay,
that's Amber.
Amber's not here.
Oh,
So,
no.
Oh,
Amber's shopping. That's somebody I don't
Reveal
think that's
Our
yourself.
one
Hey.
viewer needs a reason to come back.
Our one viewer, reveal yourself in the comments.
No, take us
So-
out, Mr. Bogan.
That
Mr.
is a
Bogan,
part
take us
one.
out.
That is a part one. If you want to see a part two, please let us know.
Yeah,
All right.
we
let
have-
us
we
know.
have
We'll
more
do
on
part
it.
2 next week.
Yeah,
have
we
have
have
a
more.
good weekend, guys. We will see you Monday. And just to bring up an announcement, we are going to start double streaming our videos. We are going to be simul streaming to both Rumble and YouTube. That will be starting very soon. So now you have a pick of where you want to watch it. Do you want to watch Rumble or do you want to watch YouTube? And we're going to see which growth occurs fastest because we
Right.
kind of feel like we're throttled here.
We also have. Do we want to reveal the other thing we was talking about?
We can go for it,
I
Duffner.
don't.
Okay,
Well,
we
okay.
were also thinking about bringing on people who watch the show.
Yes.
Just one here and there,
Yep.
where we can get your
Occasionally.
point of view on what's going on, what the topic of the day is, and get your opinion on what's going on. We don't know when we're going to start that. That's something we've been throwing around, but it should
It's
be
an
sometime
idea.
soon.
You
Right.
It is
both
an idea we've been throwing around, and if you guys have, like, if you want to join the show,
Yep.
throw comments on here. If
Yep.
you watch it, let us know. You know what I mean? You got to be a subscriber though.
and there's
So
requirements.
if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, and then you can be on the show.
There's requirements. You have to have a mic and a camera. Your phone will work. We don't care.
Phone will work. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that, so we
Headsets, a regular headset, Bluetooth headsets with a
Yep.
mic will work. You
Yep,
know what I mean?
yep,
So if you
yep.
have one of those, that will also
If-
work.
if you're in a quiet room, that's fine too. Just
That will
so we
work,
can't
too.
have people on the hair with the pitter patter of little kids yelling and screaming
Yeah.
because we're trying to run a professional show, even though we suck.
Yeah. There will be requirements.
Always suck at
True.
it.
That is
Way
the
to go,
best
Greg.
thing that's been on the show today.
All right. And I'm going to roll that beautiful footage.
All right.
All right.
And
Everybody,
it's-
good night. God bless. Have a great weekend. Come back, see us Monday.
I'm not a crook. Ring the
Yep.
bell, like, subscribe, share,
Yes,
be my friend.
please.
Save the turtles.
That's right.
Save the turtles. Later, y'all. Have a good weekend.